Power greetings, legacy-minded men of God. I'm Dr. John L. Mack, and it's my pleasure to be able to come before you and just share from my heart information for your elevation and transformation. My life has been interesting at best, and I remember at age 24 having everything that a person would want at that young, tender age. I had a great job. I was a salesperson at a company that was just exploding in growth and sales. I was the #1 car salesperson at that company and making more money than I've ever made in my entire life. I was at a 6-figure track and things were just going great. I just reunited with my wife and daughter, and we had a new set of kids. So now I'm a girl dad with 3 awesome daughters that I adored. I loved to pieces. My life was on track, and I just made a tremendous sale. And I had to go from Riverside, California to Palm Springs to get a signature to complete that sale. In a brand new car, feeling myself full of life, I shot out. As I was going down there, to be honest with you, I'd smoked a joint. I'd smoked some marijuana, and I was just floating, flying through the air in this brand new Dodge Charger. And here I was without a care in the world. And as I was driving, I was pretty much to my destination. Something out of the ordinary happened. The rear tire on the driver's side broke off of the axle. And I started careening down the freeway sideways, just holding onto the wheel. And I said, Lord, I'm not ready to die yet. And I looked to my left, and I saw that there was a semi-truck bearing down on me. And here I am sliding down the freeway at breakneck speed. Everything was, my life flashed before me. And I remember, I could see when I was a child living on my grandmother's farm and just realizing that my mom had left me and my older brother and sister there and went to Ohio and married a man, and they had 2 more children. And so now I had a younger brother and a younger sister, an older brother and an older sister. And I looked at that and I was like, wow, I had been ashamed and embarrassed my whole life, but that didn't matter any longer. I realized growing up in a small town in Ohio, where I was one of the smartest kids in the class, but I didn't realize that I tried to be invisible because I was so ashamed of the fact that I was in a blended family where during that time, it was not common for parents to show affection and love to their kids, or it wasn't so in my household. So I was always searching for validation and affection and love in all the wrong places. And as that flashed through my life, I saw myself going away to college and falling in love and getting my heart broken, leaving Ohio and moving to Nebraska and falling in love again and again and again, and joining a fraternity and becoming somebody that I thought was significant, somebody that I thought was pretty important. I was popular. The girls loved me. The brothers, accepted me, and I was a part of something that I thought was important. But I still felt empty on the inside. I'd moved to California, and that flashed before my eyes, and I'd met the woman I would marry, and I'm married to this day for 42 years. And we got married and had a daughter, and then had the twins, and I had been the regional manager for a system of cosmetology schools, where I was the man. And all of these things were flashing before my eyes. And I had rejoined the church because at one point I had joined the Muslim religion and was trying to just get peace with my soul. But I reunited with the church, and I was really involved in that church experience, but I still was searching for significance in my life. I went back to school and graduated from California Baptist College with a degree in business administration. And then I landed that job selling automobiles at a really upscale dealership, and things were just great. I was making money, had a nice home, was driving a new car every 6 months. I was just having the life, and you couldn't tell me anything. And all of that was flashing before my eyes as I saw this semi-truck bearing down on me, and it hit me broadside, driver's side, and knocked me further down the freeway. And all I could say was, Lord, I'm not ready to die yet. I got out of that accident with merely a bite, a swollen tongue, because I bit my tongue when I came to rest. I got out of the car without a scratch on me. I got out of the car with no broken bones. And I committed myself at that point that I would serve the Lord and that I would follow his lead and that I would allow him to direct my path. But that's not where the story ends, because over the course of time, I found myself now reunited with my family, being able to accomplish even more great things. I accepted the call to ministry and moved to San Diego, where I pioneered a church in the Foursquare movement. And as I pioneered that church, my life still was out of balance, out of alignment, because I still had not surrendered. Even though I gave my life to Christ, I hadn't surrendered my life. And that surrendering was the most important thing that had to occur for me to be able to grow up into the measure of the fullness of what Christ had for my life. Now, fast forward to today, I've had incredible accomplishments, recognized as the #1 Mitsubishi dealer, a salesperson in the world. I've had sales accolades. I've had accomplishments in my life. I've had, awards and rewards and everything that a person could want. But still, there was that void on the inside because surrender hadn't occurred. And surrender is what I want to talk to you about today. When you're in a battle and you're fighting the enemy, and the enemy comes upon you with everything he has, just a relentless, ongoing pursuit to destroy you. And at some point, you realize that your resources, your armament, everything that you have is not enough to overcome the enemy. So what do? You surrender. You throw your hands up and say, I give up. I quit. I'm not going to fight you any longer. I accept the fact that you have won this battle. And in that surrender, you give yourself over to that enemy to control your life. That means that you no longer have control of your life. You no longer decide what you're going to do and how you're going to live your life because you've surrendered and now someone else controls your very life. That's what it means to surrender to the Lord. But most people are unwilling to surrender because surrender means giving up control. Surrender means that you no longer are the one that makes the decisions. Someone makes those decisions for you. Someone may incarcerate you. They may imprison you. They may limit your maneuverability. All of those are things that happen when you surrender. So when we surrender to the Lord, in our limited thinking, we think that is what's going to stop us from having the joie de vivre, the joy of life. We think that there's no longer a raison d'etre, that we are now in control, being controlled by an outside force. And we resist that control. The human nature is to resist anyone controlling us, being in charge of us, imprisoning us, preventing us from being able to move about as we see fit and as we desire. The one thing that I learned in this process of seeking surrender and seeking significance simultaneously is that surrendering to God is really the most liberating thing that you can do as a man. When you surrender to God, now, when you surrender to the Lord, now you have someone that knows how to direct your life, that knows what your life should be, that knows what your purpose is, and is able now to guide you to your purpose. I'll often, because we are so used to being in charge, the decisions and the directions that God may plan for our life seem out of character. They seem out of alignment with what we feel is our assignment. Well, often we look at where the Lord leads us and where we find ourselves, the situations, the circumstances that we find ourselves in because of that surrender. We often will look at that and say, wow, I want to gain control back of my life. It's like you're driving a car and you let someone else drive the car. You switch drivers and that driver gets in and he just speeds off, just crazy, just driving out of control. And you say, my goodness, I should have kept control. I wanted control of the car. But when the Lord drives, when the Lord leads, he's going to drive you with grace and with elegance. He's going to drive you with one thought in mind and with one intention and with one result, and that is that you'll get to your destination And that destination may not look exactly how you planned it to be. But when you sit down and sit back and allow him to show you the full picture, then you'll be able to understand and appreciate having let him drive. My pastor at the time, Dr. Jordell P. Lauder, who has since transitioned to glory, had a vision of me. And he said, Brother Mack, he said, I saw you climbing a mountain. And as you were climbing this mountain, it seemed like it was steep. And the further you got, further up you went, the steeper it seemed that you had to go. And I felt sorry for you. I felt sorry for the struggle that you were having trying to climb this mountain. And as you continued to climb that mountain, I looked back and it pained me and it broke my heart to see you going through the struggle and just continue to climb relentlessly, just trying to go up that mountain. And then the Lord pulled me back. And he said the Lord pulled him back and showed that once I had scaled to the top of that mountain, all my dreams, all my goals, all my aspirations would have been met, and that his plan would have been fulfilled. Well, gentlemen, I want to tell you this. You're climbing that mountain. And to you and to those that are around you, it may seem as if this is a daunting task. It may seem as if you're climbing and that you're going in the wrong direction. Someone wrote a book, one of my colleagues wrote a book called, Are You Climbing the Wrong Mountain? Dr. Miles Monroe advance that question. Are you climbing the wrong mountain? What would happen in your life if you went to the top of that mountain and realized when you looked around that you was on the wrong mountain, that you had climbed the wrong mountain? Are you knocking on doors and forcing your way into rooms, and when you get in, you realize that you're in the wrong room? Well, that's because you're trying to continue to keep control of your life. You're trying to run things. You're trying to be in charge and in control. And in reality, you're never in control, because there's always that extraneous source, something on the outside that's running things and it's determining where and who and what. But let me share this with you. When you finally surrender and give your life over to the Lord, that positions you for you to be able to now find the real passion that's burning on the inside of you. It allows you to be able to discover your true purpose and your true identity. And that's the purpose of life. Jean-Paul Sartre, the French philosopher, said this: life exists in a purposeless universe. And it's our purpose in life to find purpose out of that random lack of purposelessness. That is a mouthful. That's a tongue twister. Say that 3 times backwards. But think about what I just shared. Life exists in a purposeless universe. It seems as there's no purpose at all. And the purpose in life is to find your purpose, your reason, your raison d'etre. And once you find that purpose, and you will ultimately realize that that purpose lies in surrendering your life to the Lord. And in that surrender, it opens up opportunity. It opens up the option for you now to not only have purpose and to be able to intersect your strength with your passion, and so that your purpose is now fulfilled and being unfolded and revealed. It positions you so that you can go, take that final breath. And when you make your transition, you'll be able to look back and say, I have no regrets. I do not regret giving control of my life over to him who is in control to begin with. Well, guys, we can share on and on and on. But I just wanted to come and talk to you this morning about surrender, because so many of us are so afraid, are so intimidated about giving up control, because we think that somehow we're in control. Well, let me tell you this, you're not. Because if you don't surrender yourself to the Lord, you've already surrendered yourself to an enemy whose purpose it is to destroy you, to delay you, to deny you, so that you'll never reach your true destination, your destiny. You think that the houses and the cars and the positions and the pleasures of life are what is your purpose for being here. And you try to indulge yourself in all of that, and you still feel that emptiness on the inside. Well, that emptiness can only be filled and fulfilled when you allow your life to be guided and controlled, sculpted and molded by the hand of the master craftsman. Hey guys, I'm Dr. John L. Mack. It's been my pleasure and it's been my honor to be able to share it with you once again. So as a legacy-minded man, know this: it is your purpose in life to find that purpose that you don't see yet. And that purpose can only be fully revealed when you will finally and fully surrender your life so that you can gain control of it. Have an awesome, awesome day.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you were blessed by the material. We also want to remind you that there are several great ways to make sure you're staying up to date on our content as part of our 360 Legacy Plan. First, subscribe to this channel by clicking subscribe below. You can also download our incredible new app in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Just search Legacy Minded Men. And finally, visit our website at legacymindedmen.org for more information on what we believe, upcoming events, and how to join a group. Thanks again for watching.